Okay, let's go over this study guide. So 11 and 1/6 plus negative 18.1. I'm going to go fractions because sixth is repeating. So we're going to change this. Remember to change a decimal to a fraction. Read it, write it, simplify it. So negative 18 and 1/10. Negative 18 and 1/10 is how I'm going to write that. Now, different sign subtract. Remember to put the bigger number on top. So 18 1/10 minus 11 and 1/6. We do need to make common denominators. So the smallest one would be 30ths. So I'm going to multiply this by 3 and this by 5. Okay, so I have 18 and 3/30ths minus 11 and 5/30ths. And then we do need to borrow. So 18 turns into 17. Remember, you don't just add 10 when you're borrowing for fractions, you add the denominator. So 30 plus 3 makes this 33. Now I do 33 minus 5, which is 28/30ths. 17 minus 11 is 6. I'm going to simplify it. So let's see, 28 and 30 are both divisible by 2. So divide those by 2, and I get 6 and 14/15. Keep the sign of the larger number, which was this negative 18. So negative 6 and 14/15. All right, so here I could go fractions or decimals. I'm going to go decimals. That seems a little easier. So this 1/25, I could top dog in the house and divide, or just try to make this into hundredths. Okay, that's kind of funky. So I'm going to do times 4 to make this 4/100ths, and then I can write that as a decimal, 4/100ths. Okay, so now when I go to multiply that, just going to set it up, 7.03 times 0.04, multiply like normal, 12, carry my 1, 2, 28, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places, starting from the back, 1, 2, 3, 4, right there, so I have 0.2812, negative times negative, this is your sleeping dog, negative times negative makes it positive, so positive 0.2812. Okay, order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiply, divide, left to right, add, subtract, left to right. So exponents first. Now this is the opposite of 4 squared, so the opposite of 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. The opposite would be negative 16. So I have 1.9 divided by negative 0.25 times negative 16. And then multiply, divide, left to right. So I'm going to do this division first. So I have 0.25 going into 1.9. We do want to slide, baby slide. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Put that placeholder 0. Raise your roof. Whoop, whoop. I'm going to erase this just so it's a little prettier. So I'm really doing 190 divided by 25. 25 doesn't go into 1 or 19, but it goes into 197 times, which is 175. Subtract that. Put your decimal and bring down a 0. 25 goes into 156 times exactly. So I'm getting 7.6. It's a positive divided by negative, so negative 7.6 times negative 16. Now I'm just going to do that multiplication. So 7.6 times 16. 6 times 6 is 36. 42 plus 3 is 45. Tic-tac-toe. 6 and 7, do my addition, 11, carry my 1, and 12, then remember there's 1 decimal place, so 1 decimal place, so I'm getting 121 and 6/10, negative times negative makes it positive. If you did this as fractions, which I don't know why you do that, but if you did, 3/5 is what 0.6 would be. All right, parentheses first, there's 2 different sets of parentheses, so I'm just going to start with the first one and then go to the second one. So different sign subtract, so I'm doing 12 minus 5.3. Remember 12, the whole number of the decimal comes afterwards, so add that placeholder 0. We do need to borrow, so that makes that 11. This is a 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. Bring down your decimal. That gives me 6. Keep the sign of the larger number, which was the positive 12, so positive 6.7 minus parentheses 15.5 plus negative 3. Okay, then I go here, finish my parentheses. So again, different sign, subtract. I have 15.5 minus 3.0, right? Line up those whole numbers. And I get 12.5. Bigger number again was the positive. So I have 6.7 minus 12.5. Here I'm subtracting, but the second number is larger, so I'm going to do that keep, change, change. So positive 6.7 plus negative 12.5, different sign, subtract. So 12.5, put your larger one on top, minus 6.7. Let's go ahead and borrow. That becomes 11. There's a 15. So I get 8.5. And my larger number was the negative 12, so negative 5 and 8/10. All right, absolute value, remember, is just a grouping symbol. So I'm going to solve what's inside first. Again, different side, subtract. So 6.5 minus 0.32, put that placeholder 0, and borrow. I get 8.1.6. So now I've got the opposite of the absolute value of negative 6.18, because the 6 was bigger. And then this absolute value makes it positive 6.18, but then the opposite of that brings it back to negative. So we get negative 6 18/100. Okay, exponents. Remember this, the exponent is kissing the parentheses. So I'm going to make this negative 3 times negative 3, which is positive 9. So now I've got negative 1/8. Remember that negative sign on the bottom just makes the whole thing negative, plus negative 1/2, same thing there, plus positive 9. And then add, subtract, left to right. So I'm going to add these two first. I'm going to go ahead and give these common denominators. So this halves I can change into eighths. So 1/2 is really 4/8. So 1/8 plus 4/8 is 5/8, negative 5/8, plus positive 9. Different sign, subtract. So it's like 9 and 0/8 minus 5/8. I do need to borrow. So make this an 8. 1 whole is equal to 8/8. So then 8 minus 5 is 3/8. 8 minus 0 is 8. Larger number was the positive, so positive 8 and 3/8 is my answer. Okay, parentheses, not really. Exponents, yes, right here. Again, the exponent's kissing the parentheses, so this is a negative 5 times negative 5, which is positive 25. Okay, so I've got negative 8, parentheses 5, plus 25, plus 1/3, negative 7. Okay, then multiply, divide, left to right. So this is multiplication when a number is right next to parentheses. So is this when it's parentheses right next to parentheses. So 8 times 5 is 40. Negative times positive makes it negative 40. Plus 25 plus, I'm going to go ahead and do this multiplication as well. So 1/3 times 7 over 1. 1 times 7 is 7. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 goes into 7 2 times with 1 left over. So 2 and 1/3. It was a positive and a negative, so negative 2 and 1/3. Then add, subtract, left to right. So I'm going to add these two. Different signs, subtract. So 40 minus 25 is 15. Negative 15 because the 40 was larger. Plus negative 2 and 1/3. Okay. And same signs, add and keep. So I'm going to add 15 plus 2 is 17. 1/3 plus 0/3 is 1/3. They're negative. Keep it negative. All right. Parentheses first. Inside of there, I need to follow order of operations. So I'm going to do this negative 3 to the second power. This is the opposite of 3 to the second power. So 3 times 3. So that's going to be a negative 9. So I've got 7 times negative 3 3/4 plus parentheses negative 9 minus 4. Still in parentheses because I didn't finish everything in there yet. So I'm going to keep going right there. Subtraction problem, so keep, change, change. Negative 9 plus negative 4. Same signs, add and keep. So I'm going to make that negative 13 because I'm just adding them. Bring everything else down. Then I can multiply, divide. So multiply right here. I need to make those look improper. So 7 over 1 times, do my cartwheel here. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. over 4. There's nothing to cross simplify, unfortunately, so I just have to multiply straight across. So the denominator is 4, that's easy. 15 times 7 I actually need to do, because I don't know. 5 times 7 is 35. 7 plus 3 is 10. So I get 105 fourths. I'm going to go ahead and simplify that and make it a mixed number. So 105 divided by 4. 4 goes into 1 0 times, into 10 2 times, which is 8. 2 left over, bring down my 5. 4 goes into 25 6 times, which is 24. 1 left over. Okay, so we could keep going and make it a decimal. Since they've been fractions, I'm just going to leave it a fraction. Remember, it goes around this direction. So 26 and 1/4. So I got 26 and 1/4. It was a positive and a negative, so negative plus negative 13. Now I can add those. Again, same signs, add and keep. So I'm going to do 13 plus 26 is 39. 1/4 plus no fourths is still 1/4. They were negative, keep it negative. All right, the temperature for the past 6 hours has been changing at a rate of negative 2.5 degrees each hour. The meteorologist predicts that the temperature will continue changing like this for the next 8 hours. The present reading is 10 degrees, so what temperature is predicted for 8 hours from now? Okay, so it's changing at a rate of negative 2.5 for every 1 hour, but it's doing that for 8 hours. So I know I need to multiply that, but that's just how much it changes. So I also, the question's asking like what's it going to be at the end of that? So I need to use that 10 where it started. So I'm going to do 10 plus however much it changes. You don't have to have those parentheses. I just like them. So that I'm saying the original plus however much it changes. That's kind of what the parentheses are doing for me. But order of operations would have you multiply anyways first, so it doesn't really have to have those. So now let's solve. So 2.5 times 8 is 40. Carry my 4. 16 plus 4 is 20. Put that decimal back in. So I'm getting 10 plus, this is a negative 20 because negative times positive. Different sign, subtract. So 20 minus 10 is 10. Bigger number was the negative, so negative 10. So my answer is negative 10 degrees. All right, Joey has $76. He spends $8.32 spends, so it's taking away. He earns $10.50, so adding money to him. And then he buys $39.99, buys, so subtracting it. How much does he have now? Okay, so he's starting with 76, spends $8.32, earns $10.50, and buys a pair of shoes, so spends $39.99. Okay, instead of the subtraction signs, you could put plus negative, that's fine. Then I'm just going to work my way across. So 76 minus 8.32, 76 minus, 8.32, remember, have those placeholder zeros, and we do need to borrow all the way back from this 6. That makes this a 10, but I'm borrowing from it, so it's a 9, makes that a 10. So I get 8, 6, bring down my decimal, I can't do 5 minus 8, so borrow again, 7, 6. Okay, so now after that step, I've got $67.68. Now I'm going to add the $10.50. Sorry, I don't know where my 0 went. Okay, add my $10.50. So 8, 11, don't forget your decimal, 8, 7. So now after that step, we've got 78.18. Now we're going to subtract the 39.99. Okay. So I'm going to have to borrow. Let's see. This 1 becomes a 0. 8 is now 18. So I get 9. I can't do that. Borrow again. Makes that a 10. 10 minus 9 is 1. Bring down my decimal. Again, I can't do 7 minus 9, so borrow again. Makes that 17. 17 minus 9 is 8. And then 6 minus 3 is 3. So he ends up with $38.19.